Welcome back. Now, in good tradition, we had our director-producer chat, which is this fella behind the camera there. He challenged us to find the 3 best naked sport bikes, which seemed pretty easy until he said, number 1, you can't choose KTM Super Duke R, which is bound to have upset you, innit, Donovan?
Always. Yes, but despite that, I can still choose better bikes than these 2. For this, the S1000R, you can just imagine that the top brass at BMW called a meeting of their engineers and told them that they needed to build a naked version of their 1000cc RR superbike. They told the engineers that it needed to be relatively comfortable, well-made, sophisticated, and fast. And the engineers, being German, nodded obediently, went off, and built exactly that. The higher bars mean that your arms get less gravity, and therefore it's plenty more comfortable. It's German, so of course it's well made. Duh. It has most of the important electricery from BMW's gadget department, including a quick shifter and, of course, heated grips. As for fast, it produces 160 horsepower, which isn't chart-topping, but riding the bike you get the feeling that they've understated this figure slightly. It certainly feels faster than 160 horsepower, and the handling is just sublime. I'll put money on this bike doing the fastest lap time of any naked bike, if we could be bothered to do that.
There are no complaints whatsoever, except for this reservoir, which is shaking like a Mr. Bobblehead toy. I suspect the engineers let one of the non-German interns build that.
And in this meeting they had, the word character didn't come up anywhere. This bike is definitely your humble servant, but it's not necessarily your mate. You wouldn't want to share beer with it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, nice, but sadly predictable, really. I mean, take a look at this.
The success of the Ducati Monster has been vital to the survival of the company for the last 2 decades. And let's face it, this was the bike that started the whole sporty naked bike scene, which is becoming big business for every manufacturer. So why would you go for one of the new upstarts when you can have the original? 1200R is not so far in essence from the original M900 of 1993, but in reality everything has changed. Under the tank is the latest liquid-cooled 8-valve engine, which gives the same power as its rivals, but it produces a lot more torque. This has given emphasis to ease of use and versatility rather than outright performance. That's not to say it isn't quick. It is. Very. But it does what it does in a less frenetic manner than its multi-cylinder rivals. It's utterly flexible and amazingly refined, with a smoothness you just don't expect from a big twin.
And then you get to the Monster's party piece, the noise. Even with the standard exhaust system, this bike simply bellows its way up the rev range and rumbles, pops and bangs on the way down on the overrun. You can't help but accelerate hard and then shut off the throttle even when you don't need to slow down.
Öhlins suspension, a new seat and slightly higher handlebars have transformed the ride and comfort levels over previous models. And if there is a gripe, it's a slight lack of room for the feet on the foot pegs. But if that's all there is to moan about, then I'd be very tempted to ignore it. There's no doubt the 1200R is a looker. Again, it's recognisably a monster, but it's been updated everywhere. And it's this link to its heritage that makes the bike the obvious choice in the crowded naked sports bike market.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude, but any road test where you talk about the space for your feet on the foot pegs,
It's a valid criticism.
it's got to be a terrifically dull motorcycle, I'm sorry. If you want a bit of excitement in your life, you need one of these. This is the MT-10, and to all intents and purposes, it is a naked R1. The R1, as we all know, is utterly brilliant, and so the MT-10 is brilliant too, and therefore it's the best. Take an R1 chassis, take the engine too, but remove a bit of the top-end power, because you don't really need it on a naked bike, sprinkle with useful electronics like ABS and adjustable traction control, and you have the ideal recipe for victory. I'm not a mad fan of this colour scheme, but some myopic people, like Harry, actually like it. The shape itself, though, is fantastic. I love the headlight treatment, and the whole stance of the bike is aggressive and purposeful. This looks like a bike that is meant for madness.
It is undoubtedly capable of complete madness, but it's also very practical. Comfort is good enough for a whole day in the saddle, it really is. But the riding position is also good for a bit of mad hooning around the track.
The MT-10 may not feel as razor sharp as the BMW, or as ready with a hit of torque as the Ducati, but it's still more than capable of cutting a fast lap. The upside of this less focused approach is that the MT-10 rules on the road. This bike can be used as daily transport thanks to a wonderfully compliant suspension and a faultless fuel injection system. It's the only bike here that offers viable pillion accommodation as well. That means the MT-10 has the widest range of abilities, from touring and commuting all the way through to the occasional track day. This is what a sporty naked bike should be. Sporty but practical, fast but comfortable, striking, yet at the same time just a little bit sensible. I think that's fairly obvious.
Yeah, you're both wrong.
No,
I think it is
there's
obvious,
only
you're
one
right.
bike there. I don't know if you noticed. There's only one bike there that wheelies.
Well, only because it's only one bike you were riding, that's why.
Listen, no, the difference is that our bikes wheelie whether you want to or not.
Oh, really?
Did you have to use a clutch to lift the front wheel?
What's a clutch?
I think that's a no.
I tell you what, this was all opinion. Let's get some hard facts and figures up.
Okay, here
and
we go.
decide. Okay, well, let's go with the heart ratings. Actually, no, it's remarkable how similar they all are. 160 horsepower.
All three of them 160. I've got a lot more torque.
You do have a lot more torque,
Yes.
which goes with a lot more vibration.
Not really. Not really at all, actually.
You have no feeling in your legs, arse, and hands then?
No feeling anywhere in my body. From eyelids down, there's nothing.
Yeah, okay, there is a bit of vibration. I see that, unusually, Donovan's been generous and given the S1000R 5 stars.
Simple reason, you heard what I said. If we're around a track, quite frankly, that S1000R will do the fastest lap times.
And you know what?
Yes.
I have to agree with you 100%.
Yes.
The fastest bike, and I
And
tell
then-
you what,
and
even
then-
if we had the Super Duke,
Yeah, no,
it would be the fastest bike.
I agree
Really?
with you, and therefore it is undoubtedly the best.
But there is another very important reason why the BMW gets 5 stars.
Yes.
And that's down here.
Yeah, I was going to say...
186,000
I was
rand.
going to say, hang on, Matt, you had this list of things a naked bike should be. You didn't mention how much a naked bike should cost.
Yes,
Yeah.
it should be affordable.
Please explain that little price.
240,000 rand.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. Look, Yamaha are obviously suffering with Zuma's currency fluctuations, and it's not working well at the moment. It is too expensive. There's no getting away from it. The bike is brilliant, but it's too expensive.
Zuma can't even pronounce that number.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't even count that
Believe
high.
it or not, in Europe and the States, the MT-10 is the cheapest of these three bikes. Yet here it's got a significant price premium.
It does.
I'll hold my hands up, that's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, look, even the Monster at 230.
Yeah, but that's the R, and it's the best Monster that they do.
True.
And it's rare and exotic.
But is it still really that much better than the BMW
No,
for 40 grand
The
less?
BMW is amazing.
Quite
the price.
loving this. Look at this. I don't even have to say anything. You two are just
We're
agreeing
actually,
with me.
we're actually
Carry on.
arguing for him, aren't we?
Yeah, well, look,
Carry on.
let's cut to the chase. The BMW would win on price alone, because not only does it have more gizmos than everything else, it's vastly cheaper. I don't know how they do it.
No, it's impressive.
I don't know if you heard the bell there. Apparently that's last order.
But that means we've got to go, does it? Well,
Do you want a drink?
I might well. On that note,
A pint for Harry,
we go
yeah.
to the bar and we'll join you after the break.